Hi everybody, welcome to a very special video. Obviously, when you come on this channel, you expect to learn something above than the ordinary. Rule number one, making it simple yet effective option selling. What is a Batman? Let me show you that, and how do we do it is where you should actually keep your eye on. So I'm going to take you on Nifty chart and we're going to learn everything there is to be learned about this. So here we are on a Nifty monthly chart. Every candle represents 1 month. Simple, easy. Now I see people doing option selling based on open interest alone. I want to ask you, how is it working for you? And if you sell options in stocks, looking at the open interest, you are up for a big negative surprise. But here what we see is at the bottom, we have ATR indicator, this red line which you see. What is ATR? This means average true range of past 14 months. 14 is a default. You can obviously change it, but 14 is working good. What is ATR telling you? ATR telling you in the current month, looking at the past 14 months, Nifty suggests to go up by 1279 points and down by 1279 points. That means Nifty is expected to be in the range, if I just mark here, somewhere around here, right? So this is 1226, somewhere around here, or it can go down the same number of points based on ATR data. ATR is not derived by open interest. ATR is not manipulated. It's based on the raw data. And you know very well that monthly works a lot better than weekly and intraday. Obviously, the shorter the time frame, the less the accuracy, the more the gamma risk. So once we have the range as per the ATR, then we're gonna make a Batman, but that is just 30% of it. And then we're gonna talk about the good situations. We're gonna talk about what to do if trade go completely out of hand, and what's the logic of ATR and how this can be really effective. By the way, this Batman strategy which I'm sharing with you, it's great for people they want to participate in the market in a real relaxed way. At least after this video, they're gonna have some amount of confidence, some amount of a strategy, a method to the madness. Now let's go to Opstra, where I'm gonna make this Batman based on the range which you see. So here we are. What we did is a very simple thing. We calculated the break-evens. So based on that, we bought an expensive put option out of the money and we sold the next strike. 2 lots, 1:2. Same thing we did on the call side as well. We bought an expensive and we sold 2 which were cheaper. Easy, but the point which we must keep in note is that the break evens at the downside, it is 22,045. Currently market is 23,300. So 1,300 points on the downside as well as on the upsides, of course. So that is point number one. And maximum profit which you see is 5% of deployed capital. How much margin we have to deploy is approximately 2 lakhs. Obviously, it fluctuates. Also want to tell you that this 5% profit which you see, this is what you never going to get. Why? Because this 5% profit is right at the peak of the Batman. Now, what are the chances? Less than 1%. So this is not one of those channels where I give you half. I give you full 100% information, but the high chances that market is going to be in this big and huge range. So now you have some amount of framework, but we are not done yet, because I'm going to tell you what to do if market really starts to trend. Now, obviously, if we go by the ATR, now November month or December month or January, they were all sort of close, tight range months. ATR is telling you the range of 1250, but we could see very clearly if we make a Batman on this month, high chances that the Batman, it's going to be in profits. Of course, we can see that right here. So we're going to test a trending month, especially when Nifty really go down. What happens to this will be very interesting to learn. So here we are at the beginning of the month. We plan to make a Batman based on the range, and we do not know if market is going to trend. If market trends, then the Batman can be in trouble. But if it's a narrow range, which happened in the last 3 months, how much brokers? Less than 100 rupees. That's it. Okay, now let's go ahead. Now we know that it's going to trend, and looking at the payoff, it looks like it's going to be a horror story if market starts to go down. Now let's see what happens with this. Now market is going up, down, sideways, And this is ideal for somebody who is really busy, and you've been asking in comment section, help us with the strategy which require minimal adjustment, and you are busy and probably you are starting out. And what you see is we are making approximately 1% of an ROI roughly. That looks to be okay. Let's go towards the end of it. And now what you see is market is really going down, and we have come now just 1 week to go for the expiry. And as you know, Monday has come, now Tuesday, Thursday is expiry. And Thursday, if you hold on to the trade, obviously we make approximately of the deployed capital. When you trade something like this, you don't have to worry about a big trending move, provided that you have adjustments, which I'm gonna tell you next. But just to pause here, just to tell you what you've learned. Number one, ATR is a range. It takes money to move the nifty market up and down. Don't do it in the stock. It's not going to work, because index takes crores and crores of rupees to move. It's not easy to break an ATR range, as you can see here, even in a trending move. But now let's discuss what to do if market really breaks your trend and really test your might. In that situation, what you are going to do. Now let's talk about if things go completely ballistic, then what are we going to do? Now, if you're I'm going to give you two options. If you are an experienced trader, and if you've been trading Batmans, point number one, if market go down, your one put is naked. That put is troublesome for you. Can't we buy a put just next to it? So for example, if you bought 22,300 and you sold 22,200, we can buy 22,150 put immediately, just one put. It's going to reduce our margin immediately as soon as we do it. Plus, this unlimited loss potential is completely gone. Woof. Point number one. Point number two, which I want to tell you. Now, most people gonna make things worse for them. Why? Because they look forward to sell a strangle now. You have the ATR range, just sell a call and sell a put. Let me tell you, worst way to trade. People lost a lot of money selling short strangle. Now you may say that why is Batman better than short strangle? They both are theta decay. They both are giving you a long range. So what's the benefit of that? There is a big difference, because let me tell you, the last week of the month is the most volatile week. Market expires on Thursday. Suppose if you are in the trade on a Tuesday, example, and there are just 2 days to expiry, and market gives you a move, gamma is going to kill your trade. Because suppose if you sold an option for God knows 20 points, and now it's trading at 2 points, and if gamma go against you, that 2 point can really rocket up. But in this one, what you see is this is the peak. If it's the last couple of days remaining and you want to really eat the theta decay, even if mark things go against you, this bought option which you have is really gonna protect you to the maximum effect it can. This advantage you do not have when you trade short strangle. This little trick, a little upgrade, can make a big difference between a 5% loss and a 5% profit. Point number one. Point number two, even if market go down, your ROI expected is gonna go up from 2% to 3% to 4%. One more thing I want to tell you now. Now here in Batman, we are assuming that we are not going to do any adjustments whatsoever, and we never did, and we got around 2.5% because of the range, etc. Now, if market is going down, our call options is obviously in profits, correct? Now, who's stopping us to move the call options towards where the market is? Now, you may say it's based on the ATR. Now, can't you take out an ATR for 15 days, and after 15 days you decide that you want to move your call towards the market or not? That can be really interesting. Now let's talk about the last point which I have to cover in this. That is, if things give you gap down or something crazy happens, or suppose if you're completely brand new to the markets, in that situation, what you gonna do? Logic plus options trading is equal to high potential is what we know. But we're talking about somebody who's just starting it out and he never had any framework of trading. He was just trading on gut feeling. And he liked this because this is data backed and he want to do this strategy. But you have to be prepared for the worst because you're doing an option selling. But that 1 month can really eat away your 8 months of profit. That's right as well. That's the risk of options trading business. In that situation, can't we exit on a 5%? Double the loss which we have. Suppose if you do not know adjustment. If you know adjustments, then you want to do it. But suppose if you don't know and you're busy, etc., you can always take a hard exit. Now, is this a really advanced Batman option strategy? It's not about the strategy alone, it's about the techniques and the tricks which you infuse into your strategy, which makes you separate than anybody else. That's why I say hit and trial way of trading one must completely avoid. Now, how do one person learn? How do one person go from step A to step B? Is by trading a lot, and if you trade wrongly, it gives you a stop loss, and stop loss teaches you nothing. How many stop losses have you given so far, right? Must have been a lot, but there is definitely a better way. Just like you're learning right now, you can elevate your trading game, you can learn the craft in record time. I'm sure you must have learned something today. You've learned how to use ATR. It is data backed of past 14 months. It's gonna give you some amount of edge. Plus, if things go wrong, I've told you a couple of things. And if you want to get more input on this, you can definitely learn it, improve it. If you really want to improve it, if you really want to give your best shot, believe me, there is no resistance. The only resistance which we have is in our mind, and that can be overcome. All right, thanks for watching the video. I wish you all the best. Bye-bye.